In the realm of power, one principle remains constant through the ages: the absolute and total destruction of your enemies. This lesson, understood by great leaders since the time of Moses, is essential for maintaining supremacy and ensuring that threats do not resurface. If even a flicker of your opponent's strength remains, it can reignite into a raging fire, leading to unforeseen consequences and revenge. The wisdom of the Indian philosopher Kautilya from the 3rd century BC echoes this sentiment. An enemy, no matter how weak they seem, must be extinguished completely to prevent future danger. The struggle of Hsiang Yu and Liu Pang. The most celebrated rivalry in Chinese history was between Hsiang Yu and Liu Pang, two generals who started as friends but ended as bitter enemies. Hsiang Yu, from noble blood, was a fearsome warrior but often acted impulsively. Liu Pang, of peasant stock, was cunning and strategically astute. Their rivalry peaked in 208 BC during the campaign against the kingdom of Qin. Hsiang Yu's impatience led him to murder his commander Sung Yi and assume control, racing to the capital Xianyang, only to find Liu Pang already there. Liu's advisor, Fan Tseng, saw Liu's potential and urged Hsiang to kill him. Hsiang invited Liu to a banquet intending to assassinate him, but hesitated, allowing Liu to escape. Fan Tseng lamented, "One cannot plan with a simpleton." Despite capturing Xianyang and wreaking havoc, Hsiang's failure to crush Liu Pang entirely proved fatal. Liu Pang's tactical retreat and subsequent peace negotiations were merely distractions, enabling his escape and regrouping. Hsiang's respect for Liu Pang led to repeated missed opportunities to destroy him. The downfall of Hsiang Yu. Hsiang's relentless pursuit of Liu Pang culminated in a confrontation where Hsiang captured Liu's father, threatening to boil him alive. Liu's calm retort, "But we are sworn brothers, so my father is your father also. If you insist on boiling your own father, send me a bowl of the soup," forced Hsiang to back down. The struggle continued until Liu's forces surrounded Hsiang's scattered troops. Advised to show no mercy, Liu crushed Hsiang's army, leading Hsiang to his final desperate act of slitting his own throat. Interpretation and legacy. Hsiang Yu's respect and hesitation toward Liu Pang sealed his doom. Every instance of mercy or failed assassination attempt strengthened Liu Pang's resolve and hatred. Power demands ruthless action. Any form of pity or reconciliation nurtures resentment and potential future threats. Liu Pang, having learned from Hsiang's mistakes, showed no such hesitation. He crushed his enemies thoroughly, becoming Han Kao Tzu, the founder of the Han Dynasty, and cementing his place in history as one of China's greatest rulers. This brutal lesson remains pertinent. Those who seek to achieve great things must show no mercy. An enemy left partially defeated will always pose a threat, ready to strike back when least expected. Complete annihilation is the only way to ensure long-term security and dominance. This is the harsh reality of power, where sympathy and half measures have no place. Wu Chao, the holy and divine emperor of China. In the turbulent world of ancient China, Wu Chao's rise to power is a story of relentless ambition and strategic ruthlessness. Born in AD 625, Wu Chao, the daughter of a duke, entered the imperial harem of Emperor Taizong as a young woman. The harem was a dangerous battleground, where concubines competed fiercely for the emperor's favor. Wu's beauty and formidable character soon won her the emperor's attention. However, she knew well that such favor was fickle, and thus she kept her eyes on the future. Wu seized an unexpected opportunity to seduce the emperor's son, Cao Tsung, during a rare moment alone. When Emperor Taizong died, tradition dictated that Wu, along with the other concubines, should retire to a convent. But Wu was not one to accept her fate passively. For 7 years, she communicated secretly with the new emperor 𝐿 and managed to secure a royal edict allowing her return to the palace. Once back, she ingratiated herself with the empress, all while continuing her affair with the emperor. In 654, Wu gave birth to a child. In a calculated move, she smothered her newborn baby just after the empress had visited, ensuring the empress was blamed for the murder. The empress, already vulnerable, was accused of the crime and executed. Wu Chao then took her place as empress. Her husband, more interested in pleasure than power, gladly handed the reins of government to her, and she became known as Empress Wu. Even in her newfound position of power, Wu faced threats from all sides. To secure her dominance, she resorted to poisoning her niece, who was becoming too favored by the emperor, and later, her own son, who was a potential heir. Her subsequent actions saw the exile of another son and the declaration of her youngest, least capable son as emperor. This allowed her to maintain control behind the scenes. Empress Wu's reign was marked by a series of palace coups, all of which she crushed with brutal efficiency. By 688, she had eliminated all significant opposition. Declaring herself a divine descendant of Buddha, she was named the Holy and Divine Emperor of China in 690, ruling unchallenged for over a decade. Wu's ascension and rule were marked by unyielding determination and a willingness to do whatever was necessary to maintain power. Her reign, lasting 40 years, is one of the longest in Chinese history. Despite the bloodshed that marked her rise, Empress Wu is remembered in China as one of the most capable and effective rulers of her time. Her story is a testament to the harsh reality that in the pursuit of power, mercy can be fatal and total dominance is often the only path to lasting security. Keys to power. Particularly in China, the lesson of crushing your enemy totally is a recurring theme. This strategic principle, eloquently outlined by Sun Tzu in The Art of War, stresses the importance of eliminating enemies completely to avoid future threats. Enemies harboring ill will always seek revenge if given the chance, making partial victories dangerous. Mercy or hopes of reconciliation can embolden them, ensuring they return with even greater determination to destroy you. A prime example of this wisdom in action is Mao Zedong's adherence to Sun Tzu's teachings. During the Long March in 1934, Mao and 75,000 communist soldiers fled from Chiang Kai-shek's superior forces. Despite Chiang's relentless pursuit, by 1937, he deemed the communists no longer a threat and redirected his focus to the invading Japanese. This critical error allowed the communists to recover, and by 1947, Mao's forces had grown strong enough to decisively defeat Chiang's army, forcing them to flee to Taiwan. Mao's unwavering commitment to crushing his enemy ensured that nothing of Chiang's regime remained in mainland China. This principle of total annihilation is ancient. The Bible recounts how Moses, guided by God, parted the Red Sea for the Jews and then let it flood back over the Egyptians, ensuring not so much as one of them remained. Moses also demonstrated this ruthless strategy upon his return from Mount Sinai, slaughtering those who worshiped the golden calf and advising his followers to utterly destroy the tribes of Canaan, showing no mercy. The modern embodiment of this philosophy is found in the works of Karl von Clausewitz, the preeminent philosopher of war. Analyzing Napoleon's campaigns, Clausewitz argued for the complete destruction of enemy forces, asserting that partial victories lead to losses in subsequent negotiations. A major victory must be followed by relentless pursuit, seizing the enemy's capital, and destroying their reserves to prevent any recovery or negotiation that might dilute the victory. The essence of this law extends beyond the battlefield. In any struggle for power, you will create enemies who cannot be appeased. Recognizing this reality is crucial. Letting these enemies linger is a recipe for eventual downfall. Empress Wu of China epitomized this understanding, crushing all potential threats to secure her position. Allowing any enemy to remain, even under a guise of friendliness, is dangerous. They will inevitably seek revenge. The practical application of this law isn't about murder, but about ensuring enemies are sufficiently weakened and banished from your sphere of influence. Rendering them powerless and exiling them from your court makes them harmless. If immediate banishment isn't feasible, always be wary and plot for the opportune moment to act. Understanding this law ensures that you maintain power securely, without the threat of retribution from those you have defeated. In conclusion, the lesson from history is clear. Never go halfway with your enemies. The only true security comes from their total annihilation, leaving them no opportunity to regroup and retaliate. This unyielding approach is vital for maintaining lasting power and avoiding the pitfalls of partial victories and misguided mercy. Reversal of the law. This law should rarely be ignored, but sometimes it's better to let enemies destroy themselves. In warfare, a cornered army fights fiercely, so leaving an escape route can lead to their eventual demoralization and exhaustion. When an enemy is on the ropes with no chance of recovery, let them be the agents of their own destruction. However, be cautious. Crushing an enemy can embitter them, leading to long-term revenge plots. The Treaty of Versailles embittered Germans, suggesting that some leniency might be better. Yet, leniency risks emboldening the enemy. Generally, it's wiser to crush your enemy completely. Key takeaways: total annihilation. To ensure your enemies do not come back seeking revenge, they must be crushed completely. Half measures only leave room for them to recover and retaliate. Historical wisdom. Great leaders like Mao Zedong, Moses, and Napoleon understood that complete victory was essential. Partial victories lead to future conflicts, as demonstrated by historical events like the Treaty of Versailles. Strategy of banishment. Weaken and banish your enemies permanently to prevent them from regaining strength and posing a threat. Caution in leniency. Occasionally, letting enemies destroy themselves can be beneficial. However, leniency often risks emboldening them, so it is usually wiser to eliminate the threat entirely. What about you, though? Have you found yourself in a position where you have to annihilate your enemies? Share your experience in the comments so others can learn from you too. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our new videos posted every week. Catch you in the next video.